guys. I'm Cadet Sergeant First Class Castro. Time is now 8:48. Please take out pen and paper and prepare to copy. We're going over Opera 13-6, Operation Heavy Metal. Task organization, Red Platoon, First Squad, Second Squad, Third Squad. Situation. Area of operations, metal. Terrain, a code format, observation and field of fire. Hindered due to dense vegetation causing recon element to be closer to objective. Supports mission by offering covering, concealment, maintaining element of surprise. Avenues of approach. Major AOA is avenues of approach is a creek bed on the objectives, and there's trails going through the objectives as well. Covering concealment. It's heavy throughout the objective from patrol base, but clears up closer to the objective. Gives good concealment, but lacks cover when moving to the objective. This would still be ideal because there's a lot of dense vegetation you can use for covering concealment. Obstacles, of course, the thick brush on the way to the objectives might hinder eyes on and force squads off course a little bit. It happens every now and then when we go out there. Key terrain, open field and AO. Light and weather data, high of 57, low of 46, with a 10% chance of rain. Enemy forces. Elements of the SAPA forces remain in defensive postures. Scouts confirmed enemy established training camps and possible weapons caches in the area. SAPA are aggressively resisting our combat patrols and harassing local civilians. Enemy morale is high due to VBIT attacks that have resulted in casualties and destruction of equipment. Intelligence has revealed that some local leaders have begun to provide support to SAPA forces. Due to last week's raid, SAPA forces have set up heavy fortified machine gun nests and have employed defensive sniper nests. Use of indirect fires is highly recommended on fortified patrols or positions. The enemy most possible course of action is due to low training of new recruits. If compromised, enemy says will defend themselves with just enough force to allow others to flee. Most dangerous course of action, enemy will fiercely fight back and use their knowledge of explosives to cause many U.S. casualties as possible. Friendly forces, higher unit. Use of battalion combat team conducts combat operations in the vicinity of the objective metal no later than 15-16-40 March 14 in order to identify fortifications and composition. Adjacent units. Black and green shirts will conduct combat operations along Access Gold no later than 05-1500 of March 14 in order to disrupt enemy forces from operating in the area and allow for the freedom of maneuver for Red Platoon. Attachments and detachments, none. Civilian considerations, none. Mission. Red Platoon conducts a zone recon in the city of objective cobalt, iron, and steel no later than 05-16-40 March 14 in order to identify enemy composition and disposition, find fortifications, and find sniper positions. I repeat, Red Platoon conducts a zone recon in the city of objective cobalt, iron, and steel no later than 05-16-40 March 14 in order to identify, I have 2 twice, in order to identify enemy composition and disposition, find fortifications, and find sniper positions. Execution commander's intent. Identify enemy strength and confirm or deny the establishment of a training camp. Necessary, we will conduct a recon and provide coordinates for the Pfister unit to destroy SAPA fortifications and to disrupt future enemy attacks on friendly military or civilian personnel. Alright, put pen and paper down. Orient yourself to my TMK or the board. We will be operating in 3 phases. Phase 1, we'll camel up before the patrol base, hopefully, in 5 minutes if we can. Timeline's cut a little bit short. As you can tell, we start at 1600 instead of usual time because we have the contract ceremony. So we'll camel up there, and then we'll head out in the order of movement. First, second, third, as usual, in a platoon wedge towards the patrol base. First squad will occupy the 10 to the 2, second squad to the 6, and last and third squad 6 to the 10. 6 to the 10, sorry. And Once we get there, we'll conduct seals, do any other camo if we need to, if time allows for that. We'll also do sector sketches and anything else we need to do in the patrol base, and then excuse me. And then we'll pretty much be stepping off as quickly as possible. We'll be there. We're trying to occupy 1620, and we pretty much have to leave in 5 minutes. Unfortunately, that's the time crunch that I'm working with. And so, first squad, we'll have objective Cobalt. You'll make your way to your ORP, and however movement technique you guys decide. And then when you get to ORP, make sure you do seals. Check up on everyone, make sure everybody's up on everything, and then from there, go on your leader's recon. If you don't have time to do the leader's recon, I would just take everyone and go do the recon as a unit, as a squad. But I mean, that's just me. But we don't have a lot of the time that we want. And then we're gonna have IEDs. There will be IEDs, so make sure you guys. Be looking out for that. And of course, second squad, objective Iron. And third squad, objective Steel. And then once you guys have all gotten eyes on, and then the squad leaders, make sure you guys have all the information, like the enemy's composition, disposition, find any fortifications, and if you find their actual sniper nests or sniper positions, it'll be wonderful. And once we have that, we'll be able to do a UXO and send that up, and hopefully call for fires to eliminate the enemy on the objectives. So we will be doing call for fires. Task supporting units. First squad. You guys are going to have M18 Claymore, AT4 as usual, blank line 9. 9-line medevac, UXO report shells, an ROE card, plus 2 radios, one for the squad leader and one of your team leaders. First squad conducts an area recon on objective Cobalt, no later than 05/16/40, March 14, in order to identify enemy composition and disposition, find fortifications, and find sniper positions. Second squad, same thing as well, M18. Claymore and AT4, blank line 9, 9-line, UXO report shells, an RE card plus 2 radios. Second squad conducts an area recon on objective Iron, no later than 05/16/40, March 14, in order to identify enemy composition and disposition, find fortifications, and find sniper positions. Third squad, same exact thing, Claymore and AT4 with your 9-line medevac, UXO report shells, an RE card, and 2 radios. Third squad conducts an area recon objective Steel, no later than 05/16/40, March 14, in order to identify enemy composition and disposition, find fortifications, and find sniper positions. Training instructions, timeline, as you can see, 1600 we're moving out to the ERP, to the Alpha. 1600 to 1605, hopefully we'll be able to camo up in 5 mics. Just have everyone work with each other to get that done as quickly as possible. And right after that, we'll do a weapons draw. Then we'll move out to the patrol base, 1615, occupy at 1620, movement to RPs at 1625, occupy your ORPs at 1630, conduct your leader's recon if you have time, 1635, 1640 be back, 1645 have your elements set, and in between that time to index, we'll do our UXOs and all that stuff like that. But with the IEDs that we're going to be hitting in between then, some of the timeline might be, we're going to have to shift fire. With that, CCRs, battle damage assessment, that's after your call for fire, of course. Enemy location, strength, location of preserved weapons, direction of enemy withdrawal, SAPA platoon headquarters, SAPA locations, significant activities, weapons caches, and ID making facilities, enemy supply routes, possible friendly enemies, OCOC effects on friendly forces, and of course everything that we have to find for our mission. Fire support coordination measures, none. Rules of engagement, see your ROE card.
Cadets Sergeant Washington, I'm briefing the service and support paragraph. As far as supply goes for materials and services, for class 1s, they're going to have 2 orange water canteens on site, as well as your own 2 personal canteens and your Camelback, so there really should be no excuse for dehydrated or anything. For classes 2 through 7, there's nothing. For class 8, CLS bags will be on site. Every squad will have their own individual medevac bag. Class 9, there's nothing. For transportation, individual cadets are going to be responsible for their own transportation to and from lab training areas. It's going to be different this time because we have the contracting ceremony, so if you do need a ride, you're probably going to be able to get one in the van in order to get to the ERP. If you want to take your own POV, though, that's cool. As far as personnel is concerned, the squad leaders are going to be responsible for every one of the squads, so that means that you need to be keeping track of everyone that's with you. For health system support, medical plans are going to be designated by the command sergeant major and the XO, so just keep an ear out for those when you get them.
Command and signal. Company commander will be located with her platoon during all phases of operation. Position of command, platoon sergeant, first squad leader, second squad leader, third squad leader, and then by date of rank. Patrol, CP will be maintained in patrol base, ports, sit rep, salute, 9-line, UXO, usual stuff. Signal frequency will be on red channel 6, call signs red, first squad leader red 1, second squad leader red 2, third squad leader red 3, PO red 6, and platoon sergeant red 7. Traveling primary hand arm signal, secondary radio, tertiary voice, contingency smoke, fires, audibles, missile blast, radio, visual drone signals, or however your guys' SOPs in your individual squads. Signal name about Minimac, RSC, method of marking, red smoke, challenge call, password duty, running password juggernaut, and number combo 7. Time is now 0900. You guys have any questions?
Do you have a map of the ERP with the objectives?
I wasn't able to attend the training meeting, so
You don't have. Oh,
and I didn't get to actually look at it.
if you ask for it, you might get it.
Yeah, I can ask for you. I'll send an email out. They didn't give you a map either?
No, there wasn't one provided on that. Did you an illustration on the board similar to one that you have there?
Okay.
So there's no real map.
Yeah, so we're kind of screwed. So we're pretty much just going to have to go by distance and direction.
All right.
Within the next day or so, Miller's going to be sending a video giving us details on what the IEDs are and how we're supposed to find them and what they're going to set up. And then we'll disseminate that to you when and if we get it.
All right.
So what's your mission?
Scope out objective iron. Find
What are you-
enemy
what are you
disposition,
looking
enemy disposition, composition, fortification, and sniper post.
And what are you probably going to encounter on the way there?
Huh?
What are you going to probably encounter on the way
Oh,
there?
possible IEDs or yeah.
It's your mission. Battle? Cool. Any other questions?
No, that's good.
Alright.